Hi, my name is Roisin. Today I want to share my experiences working in a special school setting. Specifically, I want to talk about my observations while working in classrooms with children who have autism and complex needs. I have had the pleasure of working with some amazing children and teachers, and I hope to share some insights that might be useful to others. Let me begin by giving you a brief overview of the children I have worked with and their class teacher. These were children with autism and complex needs, ranging in age from 5 to 12 years. The class teacher was an experienced special educational teacher who had been teaching in this setting for several years. She was incredibly skilled in working with these children and had a deep understanding of their individual and complex needs. So, working in a special school setting can be incredibly challenging, especially when working with children who have complex needs. Some of the challenges I observed included difficulties with communication, behavior management, and sensory processing. It was also challenging to ensure that each child was receiving the individualized support they needed, while also working within a group setting. Something I observed the teacher doing many times in the classroom was she would do workstations and teach stations with these children, but she was constantly observing how they were getting on and adding in new ideas or helping the children progress in their work. And I just thought it was brilliant because how easy would it be to just give these children the same work that they can do every single day, without kind of pushing them in the right direction so they can progress in their education. This would all be part of their IEP, so their individual education plan. So they would have certain targets and goals to meet from term to term in school. So some of the skills required to work kind of effectively in a special school, well, there are several skills that are essential. These include patience, flexibility, creativity, and a willingness to learn. It's also important to have strong communication skills, both, verbal communication skills, but most importantly, non-verbal communication skills in most instances that I've observed. A lot of these children have sensory processing disorders, so they don't want to hear you repeat yourself. They don't want to hear you talking too much. So that's where the incorporation of the picture exchange system would be brought in, like PECS, or the use of LOV, so the sign language used in Ireland. In schools. So there's lots of non-verbal communication skills that can be really worked on and developed to help these students and children that you're working with in a special school setting. Above all, it's crucial to have a deep understanding and empathy for the unique needs of each individual child. So, in order to support these children effectively, a range of strategies and interventions are used in the classroom. These include visual supports, like I've mentioned, or sensory activities, structured routines, and positive reinforcement. It's worth mentioning with autism, structure and stability in the classroom gives these children a sense of trust. And trust is the biggest thing, especially if there's ever communication breakdown, or they can't just tell you, this is how I'm feeling, this is a want, or this is a need. So when you have structure in your classroom, it makes the children feel safe. And any alterations or adjustments to their routine can cause these children to feel overwhelmed and anxious. And this is generally where challenging behaviors will occur. Um, so the first step, and I suppose one of the big steps in helping these children, is to make sure that they have their routine or their timetable. What I observed was a lot of the children would use a visual timetable. So they would know exactly what they're doing every day. And if there was any changes like PE or swimming, they could see it as soon as they came in the morning. And generally they knew that it was happening the next day. And they would be excited for these little things that would happen during the week, but it was because they knew what was happening. So they trusted the process. And I suppose anytime that it didn't go that way, or there was adjustments, you would kind of see challenging behavior. So it's best to kind of avoid those huge adjustments or changes within the routine for these children. In conclusion, my experience working in a special school setting with children who have autism and complex needs has been incredibly rewarding. I have seen firsthand the incredible progress that these children can make with the right support and interventions. However, I have also seen the immense challenges that come with this work. It requires a deep commitment to learning and understanding each child's unique needs, as well as a willingness to adapt and be flexible in the face of new challenges. So, although you can do all the readings and you can do all the research, the only way of actually, I suppose, being successful in this type of environment is experience, experiential learning, um, reflection in action, reflection on action. Every single day is different, and what worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. Um, it's also really important, just as a teacher, as a student teacher in the classroom, as an SNA in the classroom, to just stand back, and observe. Observation cannot be overestimated in this type of environment. You need to gauge how these children are feeling when they come in the morning to interpret how their day is going to be. Um, I've thoroughly enjoyed my observations and deliveries during this time in the special school. I hope you've enjoyed this PowerPoint presentation. Thank you for listening.